We all have something we are very good at, exceptionally so that we don't necessarily have to struggle to get it done. You know, if you happen to be in school, it could be university, college, it could even be high school or any type of vocational trainings and even work. You meet certain people that don't really have to study as hard as the average person normally does. Instead, they just get the stuff. Be it mathematics or sciences or whatever courses the average person might find, challenging. Certain people just get the stuff effortlessly. And when we bring it to, say, the work setting, some people will make their job look so easy in the eyes of others. And the key word to grasp from this is effortless. And that brings us to the topic of today's video. What comes effortlessly to you? Hello everyone, once again thank you for joining me today in this video where I will be talking about simple ways to achieve a level of fulfillment which will result in feelings of contentment, inner peace and joy, which in this current timeline this state seems to be elusive, however very much sought for by many. And if you wish to make certain changes in your life to get more from life in general, I encourage you to stay and watch until the end of this video, because maybe this video was meant for you. The one thing that I find extremely challenging about how our society is designed is how it appears to the majority of the population that there's only one path to achieve success, and that's through structured education. You know, getting a master's degree or a couple of PhD even, the more the merrier, why not, right? Of course, you will have a few people who will still manage to slip through the cracks and become, successful and achieve that nice, glorious life without going through the normal channels that have been offered for us, that have been offered to us to follow. Should we also wish to someday rub our shoulders with the elite, All is well if this path to pursue academia is truly your calling. The challenge, however, now rests on the people that have never wished nor made a conscious choice that this is indeed how they wish to live their entire life. To pursue academia just so you can be qualified enough to occupy the corner office, for instance, or get a promotion. You see, the problem with that scenario is this: it simply isn't for everyone. But since we have been conditioned to believe that it is the only way to fit into the system or into any society, that is why you will find a lot of very unhappy, unfulfilled people working jobs that they absolutely despise and are miserable doing. But because since our childhood we have been groomed and programmed to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, we have no problem being in situations that don't feel right or make us feel very uncomfortable. I mean, if the rest of the crowd is doing it, then it must be right to do, right? Right? Well, not quite. When you talk to certain people about chasing their dreams and pursuing a passion or something of that nature, I have come across people who express things like, I don't think I have a dream or any natural talents that I can follow and make anything concrete out of it or out of them. They will say things like, I genuinely don't think I have anything special to offer. I just wish God blessed me with, a talent I could work with and show to the world. And I will tell you a secret. And the secret is this: everyone has something to offer. You just need to know and trust yourself well enough to know what that is that you have to offer. Because if you didn't have anything to offer at all, you wouldn't even exist. You wouldn't even be here. Think of yourself as a puzzle piece, a piece in a puzzle. Imagine how funny it would be for one of the puzzle pieces to say to yourself, I don't think I belong anywhere on this puzzle. Funny, right? We know that it does. That's why it came in the box. And you're not done until every single piece has been put in its rightful place or in its rightful spot to complete the puzzle. So we are all ideally like these puzzle pieces. Each one of us have a specific role and parts to play and contribute to the big picture of this life, the big puzzle of life. So let's see what the Bible has to say about this, because I know how someone or some people won't listen to anything if it doesn't come from the good book. So I always do come with receipts. Let's look at Matthew 25 verse 14. It's a really long read from verse 14 to 30. So I will just summarize. If you want to know what the whole verse says, or just Google Matthew 25 14 to 30. So the story or the parable is about a master who leaves town. But before he does, he leaves his 3 workers bags of gold. And he gives one 5 bags of gold, and another 2 bags of gold, and another 1 bag of gold. And off he went for a long time. I don't know, don't ask me how long he was gone. I don't know, because it doesn't say in the book. Anyway, that's not the point. Upon coming back, he asks his servants, and obviously what they have done with his gold. And the first one with 5 bags of gold says, oh, I did, business investments with crypto, whatnot, and here's a profit. I've made 5 more bags for you, master. And the second one said, I did the same. I made investments and I've made 2 more bags for you in profit. But the last one says, no, I hid the bag because I don't really trust you. You are a very hard man when it comes to your money. And I didn't want to get in any type of trouble if, say, something happened to the money and I lost the money. So I did nothing with the capital. I did nothing with your bag of gold you gave me. So here is 1 bag of gold that you gave me. And he gave it back to the master. And obviously the master was annoyed with him and called him selfish and lazy, and took the bag from him and gave this bag, 1 bag, and gave it to the one that he had given 5 bags to. So pretty much this is where we get the saying that for whoever has been given more will be given to them in abundance, and whoever does not have, even what they don't have, or what little that they have will be taken away from them. So pretty much that's also the backstory. I will explain this in very simple terms. Substitute your talents or your passions, skills, etc. with the bags of gold spoken about in this parable, because remember that parables always have deeper meanings behind. So this is actually an amazing story, because some Bibles actually do say talents of gold, so that should be quite obvious, I suppose. The gold in the story stands for your talents, or your God-given natural talents. What you choose to do with those talents will determine whether you deserve to be given more or not. And this is what the last part of the chapter means, that even for the one that has less, even the little that they have will be taken away. This is not the Bible being harsh. It's just the natural laws in action and how they operate. There is nothing harsh about it. This is just law. And if you are not aware of the law or the laws or the universal laws and how they operate, I am afraid that is a you problem. And once again, nature does not care about your feelings. If you have agreed to play checkers, you cannot apply the rules of chess to a checkers game, or you'll be kicked out, or you'll lose, or it won't make sense. So think of it as the same way. Anyway, concealing or not putting to good use your natural talents because you are afraid of societal judgments or you have your own personal insecurities will put you in the same category as the worker who had one bag and decided not to do anything with it. By concealing your talents, you might think you are being in, it's just innocent, it's an innocent action, you know, you're doing people a favor. It's so embarrassing and no harm, no foul. But in the actual sense, it's worse than that. This is a form of self-betrayal, and I will expand. You don't think that what you have is good enough for yourself, and therefore not good enough to present it to others. But you would happily support others in their dreams. That is what makes it self-betrayal, because remember, in your universe, it is only you that exists. There is no one else. Secondly, you are being selfish, and I will elaborate. By concealing your talents from others, because ideally you're happy to enjoy other people's talents while you conceal your own. As innocent as your reasons might be, in the grand scheme of things, this is pure selfishness, because if you truly believe that your talents are not good enough, how then can you possibly genuinely support others without misdirected jealousy? That is how misdirected jealousy is born, and you will eventually reap what you sow. The only way to get more out of life is to start by working with what you already have, or what you have already been given. No matter what it might be, no matter how small, insignificant, no one has the right to judge you in whatever capacity, because they are not your maker. They're not the ones that gave you that talent. Therefore, you don't have to answer to them. So stand by what you know and what you believe. Do not give other people the power to judge and limit you. Lately, we have been witnessing an influx of self-made millionaires or emerging from online platforms and what have you, and all doing and showcasing so many talents that we as people didn't even know we're capable of, or we didn't even know that we had such talents amongst us. And I think this is just the beginning. We are in for an even greater show. This is this is a way to prove to you that whatever you have to offer has an audience. Every talent, every passion, every skill has an audience. What you need to do is have the courage to show it and not conceal it or hide it like this third worker. And the more that you follow that feeling and excitement, the more you will get the inspiration to even do more, because that's how it works. For you to create more, you have to do more, because now you will have opened that channel or direct channel to express what you alone can be able to express in your own way. Believe it or not, as people, we don't see the same or hear the same things at any given time as others. Our general interpretation of the same message is entirely different. That's why even when you are in a room with others and you have, say, a person presenting, presenting something, you will have different opinions about the same presenter, that one person. Some will think the person was friendly, others will think they were rude, others will think, I think they were funny. But you will all have different viewpoints for that same person in one room at one time. And this is because every message that you receive goes through internal human filter, or a filter process, which include your beliefs, your values, your personal truths, all that baggage. So that is why everyone will have a personal opinion about anything really, because we all are products of the environments we were brought up in and more. I know a lot of people struggle, especially if you were never praised as a child, or you always had people place high expectations and expected more from you, and nothing that you did was ever good enough. You might find that you have developed certain traits as you grow up, and maybe likely lack that inner confidence that you need as a person in order to establish yourself or even accept yourself and what you find are your passions. You might not think that they're good enough because you genuinely feel you must prove something to the rest of the world. And you find that you constantly seek, or you find yourself constantly seeking outside validation from others in order for you to progress. And what I can tell you is you don't need validation from anyone. The only validation that you're looking for, you're seeking for, is yours. And if you need to rebuild yourself into a version that's fulfilled, confident, and happy, please leave a comment below and I will be happy to contact you. I'm also happy to announce that I am now taking in new clients. Therefore, if you wish for me to work with you in order to help you help yourself rebuild those aspects of your life that you believe requires rebuilding or requires working on, then leave a comment below and I will be in contact and I'll be happy to work with you. And I know life can generally be hard sometimes and you might find yourself knocked over a few times. However, you certainly don't have to do it all alone. And as always, stay safe and thank you for watching.